welcome to Vlogmas! So today preseason starts, and I thought we could talk a little bit about Atlanta Hawks. I mean, I know that doesn't have anything to do with preseason, but preseason starts, yay! So I want to talk about how I think the Hawks can actually make the playoffs possibly this season. I mean, people thought that the Hawks weren't going to be anything for a while, and it looks like they're coming up really fast. So let's rewind to last year. Now, obviously, Atlanta finished in the lottery. They didn't have a great record. They had a lottery pick. We understand that. However, people forget that John Collins was suspended back in November for violating the drug policy for the NBA. So he missed 25 games. And because of that, Atlanta went 4-21 in those games because John Collins is one of the most important players on that team. You know, he averages 19 points a game. Like, he's very important. He's very important on the offensive end, on the defensive end, and they really need his value on the court. So when he was gone for those 25 games, like I said, they went 4-21. Before that, I remember watching and thinking like, wow, the Atlanta Hawks are playing really well this season, like better than I thought and probably better than a lot of people thought. Just lost my voice for a second. Now, obviously it was early in the season, so there wasn't that much data. We can't 100% say that because he was suspended, that's why they didn't make the playoffs. Of course not. However, if he was there and did miss those 25 games, I think they would have won more of them, maybe helped get their momentum going, chemistry, all this kind of stuff, and it could have propelled them to possibly make the 8th seed because it was up for grabs at the end of the season. So now let's fast forward to the Atlanta Hawks offseason. They had the number 6 pick in the draft. Also, by the way, don't forget that Atlanta Hawks traded for Clint Capella during the trade deadline last year, and I think he's going to be their starting center. So they have him too as well. Like, Clint Capella is a very good center. He's still young. Like, people forget. Like, it seems like he's been in the league in a while, but he's still very young. So they have him. So now they have Trae Young. They have Bogdanovich, who they picked up in the offseason, who I did say that I think Kevin Huerter is still going to start, but now that I think about it, I think Bogdanovich might start, but either or. You got Bogdanovich from the Kings, who's a great shooter. He's a great player. He's definitely developing nicely. You know, he has a lot of potential still. I think he's like 26, so he's not like 22. But the fact of the matter is he's still in his prime, so has plenty of time to get better and grow with these Atlanta Hawks. He has time to develop and grow with the Atlanta Hawks. That makes more sense. And I just think he's a really nice fit alongside the team. Like, he fits their system well. He kind of, does what they need him to do. Like, he literally is one of the perfect fits. So it was a great signing by them. And then they also picked up Rajon Rondo, who is notoriously known for being big time in the playoffs. And he could be a great mentor to Trae Young, help him develop on the defensive end, like I said in a previous video. It's just something that's a great fit. He could be the nice backup point guard, run the second unit. He has great court vision, great passing, great IQ, and he can help the Atlanta Hawks teams make smarter decisions coming out of timeouts. They're a young team, his veteran presence will definitely be something that they will definitely love. So now you pick up Bogdanovich, you pick up Rondo, you pick up Clint Capella during the trade deadline last year, and now you have the rest of the team who, is young and developing and getting much better. I mean, listen, Trae Young is going into his 3rd year, and he's getting better and better each year. Like I said, Rondo can help him develop on the defensive end, and obviously he's going to keep developing on the offensive end, just become a better, more polished player. I mean, come on, like, he's great offensively, so now you got him running the point. So now you got Trae, you got John Collins, who's also developing and getting better each year as well. Like I said, he's a force for them on the offense and the defensive end. He can help protect the rim. He's a very mobile 4, and he's very athletic. So they really like that about him. So he's getting better. And then we also have DeAndre Hunter, who was out of Virginia. Y'all already know if you watch the channel. I really like DeAndre Hunter out of Virginia. He was big time for them. He's a 3-and-D player. He was amazing on defense in college. He can shoot the 3. He's not the best 3-point shooter ever, but he's definitely capable. He's developing, getting better. Obviously, they're a well-run franchise. They're developing their players nicely. Now you got him, and then you have Cam Reddish, who a lot of people were down on. He was the 3rd string, I guess, at Duke, behind Zion and RJ. And people were kind of like, I don't know about him. I don't know what he's going to be. But Atlanta took him anyway. And the first half of the season last year, he was okay, but there were times where it just seemed inconsistent. And then the second half of the year, he really picked it up, and he started to show the potential and the skill level and all that stuff that we all thought that he had and that he was going to be, and showed that he really is something to be messed with, and that he wasn't just the 3rd stringer at Duke, and he wasn't just this and that, all the little doubters that people were saying. We really saw growth from the first half of the season to the second half of the season. And we saw that potential, and that could be something scary because you got Cam Reddish, who could be a star, and then you got Trae Young, John Collins, DeAndre Hunter. The Atlanta Hawks can go 10, 11, 12 deep. So here's why I think it makes sense that they could possibly make the playoffs this year. I mean, besides the fact that those players I just mentioned, like, they have a lot of talent, a lot of youth, a lot of athleticism, and just a lot of time together. Like, they will have a lot of time to build chemistry together. Now, why I think it makes sense that they can make the playoffs is because in the East, I think the fight for the 8th seed is going to be between like them, the Wizards, the Magic, you know, those kind of teams are all going to be fighting together. And I think because Atlanta is so deep and that they have so many players that they can interchange and switch in and all that kind of stuff, I think it gives them a bit of a competitive advantage over some of the other teams. I also, like I said, like how the front office is being run over there. I like Lloyd Pierce as a coach. I just think that they're doing a very good job over there. I think they're developing nicely. I think they're drafting well. They're developing well. You know, they're not rushing the process. You know, they're taking their time to develop and draft and scout and all this kind of stuff and make sure that their team is cohesive and fits properly. And I respect that from them. And I'm glad that they are starting to thrive. I mean, they haven't thrived yet, but I'm glad that they're starting to show potential to thrive. The issue that I think is gonna be for the Atlanta Hawks, like I said in a previous video, is that they have so many players that it's gonna be hard to divide up the minutes and decide who gets what. Now, obviously, you know, who's the best player, who's more talented. Yeah, obviously, that makes sense how you pick it, but it's not that easy when you're the coach and you have to decide. And a lot of players are on equal playing field, especially when they're all really young and they all have a lot of potential to develop. And sometimes it's like you have to see them play on the court first, because sometimes on the court it translates different. It's just going to be hard as a coach, as a franchise, just to make sure that everyone's getting the minutes they deserve and that it just works out well that way and no egos come about and all that kind of stuff. That's really the only issue I see, but I don't even see anybody on the team having an ego, to be honest. But that's just one issue that could possibly be there, is that players might be like, I'm not getting any minutes, and like, you know, I have all this skill, all this potential, and all this kind of stuff, and I could help the team, and I'm not getting minutes. That would be the only really issue I could see, but I think that they'll be able to work that out. I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. And so then, like I said, then it's just really going to come down to who's playing better as a cohesive unit, who's just playing better offensively and defensively, and who's just more, you know, who wants it more, basically. Fighting for the 8th spot, sometimes, like I said, it doesn't always come down to who's the better team, but sometimes it comes down to who's putting in more effort and who wants it more. And when you are playing in a game, for example, those 50-50 balls, it goes to whichever team wants it more. So for the 8th seed, if it's close and it's a race, whoever wants it more, whoever has that extra gear, it could very well be the Atlanta Hawks, and they would be a very exciting first round matchup. So there you have it. That's my opinion on the Atlanta Hawks. Like I said, today preseason starts, so I will definitely be watching. I'm sure you guys will be as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Bye.